today, preseason All-American teams came out. 0 USC players. Now, there is only a couple where I think could have qualified, and that's your Mekhi Lemon, Kamari Ramsey, Jacoby Lane, Eric Gentry. Is that fair to say those 4? Because I think the rest, though great players like, Anthony Lucas, I don't think a lot of those guys would really be in like the media, to say the least. If that makes
that sort of makes sense. I think, honestly, you're going to hate me for this, but I think Caden Chittenden, honestly, like he seems like a really good kicker. I would maybe throw him in there. But even though, kicker sort of, you don't know what you're getting out of a young kicker like that. But I tend to agree. I'm trying to just think off the top of my head, like who really is getting those eyeballs. And I mean, Kamari Ramsey's the obvious pick, Gentry. The receivers, we know they haven't gotten a lot of love. We talked about the Biletnikoff last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. And USC was snubbed there again. I mean, I don't even know. I think Lake McCree could be a candidate, dare I say. His blocking ability, if he can stay healthy.
I'm going to disagree with that. I love Lake. He's a very consistent player. He's not an All-American.
I mean, but before he got injured last year, he was one of the best tight ends in the country through the first 3 weeks or so.
I mean, I don't think I could. Come on. Let's be honest for a second.
Lake McCree's good. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's good. He's not. I wouldn't say he's one of the best tight ends through the first 3 weeks.
He was, though. I mean, that LSU game, he was great. And obviously there was a few bye games in there that I don't know if you really count, but he was still having a very solid, he was USC's leading receiver.
Solid. There's a key word there. Very solid.
But we're talking tight end position. We're not talking wide receiver where you're expected to get the Jeremiah Smith number.
Look, he was good through the first 2, obviously. Utah State and LSU, very good. And then he's just, I guess the first 2 weeks, sure, he was playing great. But, in comparison to your Tyler Warren, your Harold Fannin, I don't know about that.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but like he got injured in that Michigan game, and then after that, it went down. Like he got a really bad concussion, right? Or was it a knee injury? Mekhi Lemon got the concussion. There was some. Yes. Mekhi Lemon got the concussion. I think it was a knee thing for McCree. It was a very scary injury, something that could end your career. So he wasn't going to be the same after that. But I mean, 81 yards against Utah State, 56 though against LSU. I think he was one of the leading receivers in that game.
Yeah, he was. And it was also early. We thought he was going to be the safety guy for Miller Moss, who he'd just dump it off. Chris, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
You thought he'd be the consistent guy who just dump it off, but of course he did get injured. So I'm not gonna blame that. I also am not gonna say he was one of the best tight ends in the country through those 2 weeks.
I mean, it's tough when you have Colson Loveland, you have Tyler Warren.
Exactly. Harold Fannin. Disrespect Harold Fannin.
Yeah, Harold Fannin as well. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I don't know. He can also block really well. I feel like he blocks a lot more than some of those other tight ends. But I don't know. I mean, time will tell what actually happens with him because he's a guy that doesn't really stay healthy a lot. Unfortunately, you got to feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, wait, hold on. But like right now, though, the way that you're talking about Lake McCree, do you think that he can be an All-American?
I mean, I wouldn't say he's a shoo-in for it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
What? I mean, come on. Lake McCree's great, buddy. Come on, an All-American?
I mean, there's been some wacky All-Americans before. It's not that crazy to me. It's the tight end position.
Like a lot of good tight ends did leave too. I mean, like Terrence Ferguson from Oregon, he also left. So I guess.
I mean, look, I put his name out there. I'm not saying he's a shoo-in compared to the Kamari Ramseys, the Eric Gentry. I just think he's an important player, and he's going to surprise a lot of people. That's why I'm saying him not getting picked. Maybe he'll have a chip on his shoulder or something.
Yeah, but I also don't think he was ever expecting to be picked.
Maybe, but again,
McCree saw that he wasn't a preseason All-American and decided, all right, got to go back to work even harder.
Well, I think not necessarily, but I think a guy like that who's been injured just so much,
that is fair. Yeah.
I feel like his ceiling is so much higher than you make it seem a little bit. If he was, it's a big if, I get it. But, at the same time, he's been that consistent player. Like there's a reason he hasn't transferred out. Like he's adaptable to every system. And now, a third quarterback he's playing under. So
no, you are correct. But it falls under the same thing of Eric Gentry. Gentry is phenomenal, but he gets injured so often. And that's, it's something you can't control and it sucks. But it's something you always have to take when you talk about a player's potential is, do they have a history of injury?